We started getting noises, things moving out here, which just needed to be really quiet for this to happen. We couldn't come out of that room because we knew it would stop. And that's when we could see the shadow.
In the small village of Kelvedon Hatch in Essex, a quaint, unassuming cabin sits in the woods. But this is not an idyllic British cottage. Deep below the foundations lies one of the UK's best-kept secrets. For 40 years, Kelvedon Hatch was the location for the British government's secret nuclear bunker. With the threat of Cold War hanging over the country, there was a real worry that the USSR would launch a missile at any moment, aimed straight at the UK. Decommissioned by the Ministry of Defence in 1992, Kelvedon Hatch is now teeming with paranormal energy. The haunted bunker is owned and operated by Mike Parish, who has opened it up to the public as a tourist attraction.
Well, obviously, we've got a bunker in the middle of Essex because it's the London bunker. It was where some of central government would have come had there been an atomic war. It was built here because this is the furthest south that the Ice Age came. And so whereas the rest of the land around here is London clay, we've actually got free-draining soil. And so it happened to be nice free-draining soil on a hill, far enough away from London to be safe.
Originally built as an RAF defence base in 1952, as the Cold War heated up throughout the 60s, 70s and 80s, it became the unofficial safe house for the British government.
It took them a mere 7 months to build it, from start to finish, which was quite remarkable. It would take you that long now to get planning permission. But obviously there was a bit of a panic going on.
The bunker has fascinated paranormal experts for years, with reports of it being home to a whole host of spirits.
One of the explanations as to why the bunker might be haunted is that a burial ground was disturbed when they constructed it. And it's a very common sort of cultural trope that if anybody's body is not correctly buried or has been disturbed after it was buried, then it leads to a discomfort in later life.
There have been reports by many visitors to Kelvedon Bunker of seeing a woman in full military uniform, often as real as you and I. This female officer has also allegedly been telling people to get out, and she speaks to these people as clearly as we are now.
Many people who visit Kelvedon don't even get as far as the bunker, chased away by this fearsome woman. Keen ghost hunter Sadie Forth has first-hand experience of this.
We started off the night's investigation down here in the tunnel, and we walked up to the bottom of the tunnel behind me. It was me and my two lady friends, and we were the only people here in the bunker all night long. I got out my night vision camera to start filming to see if anything was here, and it looked like there was a figure at the other end of the tunnel.
There, can you see that? Tall and dark.
Yeah.
With a face.
Yeah. A dark silhouette, a shadow type figure, which was quite frightening to look at. And I zoomed in on the camera to see if it was still there, and it was.
I'm not picking anything up on camera. I don't think I am anyway.
And it was just really quite frightening, actually, to think that there was something watching us from the other end of the tunnel. We were here on our own.
Paranormal investigator Alan Robson recalls his first visit to the bunker.
We walked through the door, and the first thing I felt when I come down here, you weren't allowed to come in here. And it was that eeriness which you get, which you think someone's watching you and saying, look, you're not allowed in here, get out. When we started walking around here, it just got more weird feeling. It felt like you're being watched, and no one wants you in here. It's private. You're not supposed to know about this place.
Alan and his fellow paranormal team members focused their search for the shadow people on the communications room.
Well, in this room, We came in far end down there. So we decided to set a couple of cameras up down there. We put some detector lights on these tables here. When we were down there with the cameras doing a bit of an investigation, we had these lights go off on these tables here. And we got to this spot, it was like we had all of us got a tingly feeling.
So often when people report seeing shadow people, the sightings come with a sense of malignancy. So there's a feeling that these entities, or whatever they are out to cause harm.
Both scared and excited, Alan and his team lay in wait.
All the lights were off and we waited for anything to happen out here. We started getting noises, things moving out here, which just needed to be really quiet for this to happen. We couldn't come out of that room because we knew it would stop. And that's when we could see the shadow passing past the windows in that room. And this happened about 3 or 4 times. We know no one was in this room. We were all in that room together. So whatever the person was that was walking around here, it wasn't alive.
Intrigued to see whether the cameras had picked up any of the shadowy figures, Alan and his team pressed play.
When we went back on the footage of the camera that was set out here, we had the dark shadow walk past that camera twice, which to me looks like a woman. Military, I don't know, but definitely a woman. Looks like she's got her hair tied up or hat, and it looks like she's carrying something. And she's going from this end, where we felt it cold, to the other side of this room, and then disappearing about there. Twice this happened. So this must have been the figure we were seeing, or the shadow, it was casting the shadow over on that room, which done it twice, but we see it more times than this, but the camera caught it twice.
The video footage clearly shows a shadow moving past in one of the rooms at Kelvedon Bunker, and it is quite possible that this is a shadow figure and one of the many spirits that have been reportedly haunting this location.
I would definitely say that it is very possible that it was spirit trying to communicate. Again, investigators say, you know, show me that you're here, make your presence known. That doesn't always mean that spirit's going to do that right in front of you. They may go to the next room, there's a camera, and walk by it, or not even think of it. That's just how they manifested themselves. So I definitely think that's spirit.
The secret nuclear bunker at Kelvedon Hatch may have been decommissioned in the early 90s, but it certainly seems that some of its residents are still at home, deep within the subterranean network.
Kelvedon Hatch is one of the more interesting haunted locations in the United Kingdom, since it has never officially been lived in. It sort of retains a very unique atmosphere, unlike many other locations.
Kelvedon Hatch has got activity there, and I would say that there is presences of numerous people there. I also think that there's a significance between the residual haunting and also the intelligent haunting.
Anyone brave enough to explore down here had better come prepared for a fright.
Kelvedon Bunker is, in my opinion, one of the world's most scariest places. It's teeming with different energies, everything from shadow people to full-bodied apparitions and possibly demonic entities.